If the assassination of Charlie Kirk taught us anything, is that people will take out of context other people's words just to make a point. In this case, the left, liberals, the woke brigade, whatever you want to call it. And in this case, it's like, well, with Donald Trump, they have done that many times, including, of course, trying to assassinate him. But the amount of hoaxes and lies and misinformation spread and words taken out of context is not only, people doing that with video editing software in their basement. No, it's actual companies, mainstream broadcasting companies doing that. And we have this expose from the Telegraph, exclusive. The BBC doctored Trump's speech, internal report reveals. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play the clip of what they aired. I think it was just days before the elections last year, and what was the real clip about.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight.
You notice that apparently he says the words, "We're gonna walk to the Capitol and I'll be there with you."
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're gonna walk down.
The thing is that he never said those words, or at least not those words consecutively. This is what he said.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
You might be asking, when did he say "I'll be there with you and we fight like hell"? He said that in that same speech, but 54 minutes later. Literally 1 hour later. And in Panorama, and BBC Panorama's edit, they literally misled the public, making it think that he was pushing for, the actual insurrection. By the way, I'm going to say it again. January 6th, I don't know why people keep talking about January 6th like it was an insurrection. If you say that January 6th was an insurrection, it only reveals how ignorant you are. And maybe you are not to blame for your ignorance, but you are to blame for not, finding out and doing your own research about this stuff, and not the talking points that you get from the media, such as this. This is weaponization of mass communications. This is misinformation. This is really dangerous. This is the thing that killed Charlie Kirk. I even made a video making sure to put all the words that he said in context. And we see some more content of this from the Telegraph. Panorama program broadcast a week before the U.S. election completely misled viewers by showing the president telling supporters he was going to walk to the Capitol with them to fight like hell, when in fact he said he would walk with them to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. This is what they do. The dossier says that the program made the U.S. president say things he never actually said by splicing together footage from the start of his speech with something he said nearly 1 hour later. The conservatives have demanded an immediate investigation into how the Panorama documentary was allowed to be broadcast. Nigel Huddleston, the Shadow Culture Secretary, said, "These are extremely concerning revelations that could seriously undermine the brand and reputation of the BBC." The BBC has no reputation whatsoever. But you get what I'm saying. The BBC license fee is justified on the basis of impartiality and trust. That is laughable. How cute. There can be no justification for this kind of deliberate manipulation of the spreading of misinformation. This is not the first time that evidence of bias at the BBC has emerged, but it is one of the most stark and alarming examples to date. This is just outrageous. First part of the speech. This is what Trump said at the first part of that speech. The BBC had spliced together three separate parts of Trump's speech into what appeared to be one fluent sentence. In fact, what Trump said was, quote, "We are gonna walk down and I'll be there with you. We're gonna walk down. We're gonna walk down anyone you want, but I think right here. We're gonna walk down to the Capitol and we're gonna cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol, building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard." Peacefully and patriotically. Right? Then some 54, like the studio, 54 minutes later, when Trump was talking about elections being corrupt, he said of voters on election day, "Most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and I say, I want to thank you very much, and they go off to some other life, but I said something's wrong here, something's really wrong, can't have happened, and we fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not gonna have a country anymore." Again, he was talking about a completely different topic and a completely different part of his speech, and the BBC makes sure to combine the two to completely mislead the public. The BBC advisor who wrote the report compared the shocking breaches of impartiality to the Crown Gate scandal in 2007, when footage of the late Queen Elizabeth was edited to make it look as though she was storming off a photo shoot, which led to the resignation of the controller of BBC One. Again, one of the things I despise the most, and right now we are here on my Power Pundit channel. This is my channel on American politics. Yeah, it looks a lot like the body language guy, but no, you're right now in my Power Pundit channel. Make sure to like and subscribe so you get notified about my updates here. One of the things I hate the most is when people lie and spread misinformation. That's one of my favorite pastimes. Not only pastimes, but that's my job. I make sure to bring you whatever it takes, the real thing, the real deal. I always try to go to the source. Yes, sometimes I don't get it right, but that's what I strive for in every single video. I think that is something with what we got in AI nowadays. The dangers of AI. I've said, in fact, sometimes that you have to go to the sources of mainstream information because you could imagine that or could guess that these people have the actual stuff, but now we know that no, they can do things like this.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol and I'll be there with you, and we fight like hell.
Literally make Donald Trump say something that he never said. And again, it is sad the amount of people who are going to look at this and are going to say, no, Trump actually said that. Oh, Trump is a fascist. Trump is a Nazi. They're gonna keep repeating this because that's what they have been conditioned to think. Because all the brainwashing over and over again. I've said that in another video. I said that today in a previous video on another topic. I think I was talking about Zohran Mamdani. People will be brainwashed in one way or another. Sometimes if they look at my video on the Fine People hoax, when you take a look at the actual video of the Fine People hoax, in which it appeared that Trump was praising white supremacists, no, that never happened, in fact. And at least the good thing is that some people find out in time about these stratagems, these tactics of the mainstream media just to, have this agenda. And a lot of people are waking up. And, well, I'm doing my best to put to wake as many people as possible. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.